Hi guys, I realized this morning during the Zoom that I did not publish the neon sign assignment that we started working on this past week. It's sort of an introduction to sweeps. I put the videos above this one in the assignment, but I also wanted to add some more information about like letter shapes for you so you guys could see it better, get a better idea about maybe what kind of shape you like to have for letters in your own name. And there's my alarm telling me class is about to be dismissed. If we were in school, that'd be a thing. All right, super fast. So letter shapes, if you saw my example, I used this sort of idea for shaping the letters. I said, oh, what would be great if, it's kind of geometric and that kind of makes sense to me. So I sort of set everything up with certain measurements and different dimensions. And that was happier for me than trying to make a spline that does something like that. I don't like splines so much. This is not real. This is not going to work very well for you. This guy might work. Like if you look, there's like a straight version here. It bends gently like that. If you can avoid sharp corners, it's a good idea to avoid sharp corners because sometimes it does weird things at sharp corners. Not always, but sometimes. But it's like a slight arc, and then it goes over, and then it's got an archy, spliney thing that does that shape and continues up to the bottom there. So make some decisions about it, but yeah, if you want to just be simple as you can, be simple. It doesn't matter too much. If I were doing my name like the letter H, I would do, letter H, go over a little ways, and then maybe go from the same height as that guy, and the same, there we go, and I get the same, there's an H. The problem with this is, imagine traveling along any of these lines. If I go from the bottom here and I sweep along and go up and up and up, I'm not going to stop at this point. I'm going to go all the way to the top because that's one single line. And then from the top, I've got nowhere to go. I'm not going to turn around and go back down a little ways. This isn't going to happen. I can't start here and go over. If I start on this line, I go straight across it, but then what? I mean, I can't turn here because this is not an endpoint for this line. Even if I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line segments that, had endpoints here and here for the uprights, I could still only do like a up, over, down in one sweep. And so for me, I didn't like this style because I'd have to do a sweep for each. And then if I'm doing that, why not just make cylinders by doing extrudes or something instead of having to draw a line that's a path? It's too much. It's too much. It's not a good sweep path, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you want to have something that has, I don't know, let's make like a D, for example, and go over a little ways, and then I go over about the same distance, horizontal, and then grab a 3-point arc so I can click on my start point, my end point, and then make it, kind of the shape. I mean, I don't know if I needed that shape, but hey, something like that. For D, I can use that. That's a pretty decent sweep path. If I start here, I can go up, I can go over, I can sweep around, I can go back over, and I'm back where I started. That should work just fine. In fact, let's put a circle on the bottom plane here, or not the bottom plane, the top plane. Oh no, I've not hit the right spot. Try to, of course, center your circle on your line. There we go. I can even make that, smaller than that. Slide it in a little ways. Sweep that. You just have to pick all the different parts of your path in order. I can sweep straight up. If I change the sweep straight over, it doesn't look nice. I wouldn't have a neon sign that looks like that, but that looks like a picture frame would look, if you had a circular picture frame, I suppose. I mean, it's two pieces that are, or if you have two pieces of dowel that you stick together like that, you cut them at a bias, at an angle, and you stick them together, and that's what it would look like. It's doable. It works. Get the arc. Get this guy here. I mean, these corners are kind of tight for what's going on, but it works. It's perfectly fine. It works just fine. Yeah. You could put together like something else that has curves. You could use the spline feature with something like the letter B, like that one in the example. It looked, or not in the example, in the picture here. The next thing that happens is it has a tangent arc, and I picked tangent arc if I want it to come off smooth like that at the top. If I didn't pick tangent arc, if I picked 3-point or something, it would be like, okay, going from here to here, and I mean, I'm not going to be a smooth transition. It's going to have different angles. So let's go back to tangent arc. And I do like just a quarter turn even. Kind of like that. Now, how do you make it officially a quarter turn? Well, this endpoint needs to be horizontal with that one, and it should be. This one needs to be vertical with that one. Oh, it's not. So you go and you make a vertical constraint between that guy and that guy. And that should make a complete quarter turn. And it goes straight over for a little bit. And then I think it picks up a spline shape. And it just sort of sweeps. And it sweeps in a little bit, and then it sweeps out a little bit. Mine's not the best. But hey, there it is. It should work. It should also work for sweeping. Alright, so there's options for how you construct your letters. There are options for how you construct them. There's options for all kinds of things here. Let's do a sweep along the path. It might be too big. Oh yeah, it's gonna, oh, the circle's too big. I can probably fix that by changing the size of my circle because it's gonna hit itself or something over here. Let's make that small. Nope. It doesn't like that. Why doesn't it like that? It just doesn't like the spline? Alright, I'll play with it. If I can figure it out, I'll let you know. One thing that I wanted to mention, because sometimes people miss the idea that if I start sketching, I want to kind of start either on the origin or on the front plane, or the right plane rather, like intersecting one of these other two planes. If you just make your name, I'll make an A. Actually, let's not make an A. That's got too many parts to it for me to do quickly. Gosh, I don't know. I've had people do J's like this. They go straight over, and then they'll do a spliney thing to make that curve. Kind of go straightish down, and then they'll curve up and over. There's a J. Okay, cool. But the problem is, there's no endpoint to any of these lines that are part of my path, the spline part. There's no endpoint on another plane. That's okay. I can make a new plane. This crossbar right here is kind of lined up almost horizontally, which means it would be perpendicular to the right plane. Right in both directions, like it would go straight into the right plane like that. So I'm going to make a plane that is parallel to the right plane. So I'm going to use this new plane feature. I'm going to make it go through a point because I want it to touch one of the endpoints on the top of the J. Green check. Now I can put my circle, on my new plane here and sweep it across. I'm going to have to do 2 sweeps, and that's okay. But it's kind of annoying because look, it's not lined up with anything, this top point or this guy. The top point, it kind of starts almost vertical, so it might be a good idea to hit on the top plane because that's coming straight down, right? And make a plane that is offset from the top plane, or plane point rather, plane point right there at that end point of that down sweep of the J. So now I've got 2 planes I can use. Draw 2 circles to make 2 sweeps. If I want to be fancy when I make my circle, I can actually give it a dimension. So I'm on plane 2, that's this one right here. Let's make this guy, and let's do like 0.05. Oh, that's too small. Oh, it's too small. Hold on. 0.1? That's probably okay. 0.1. So I'm going to give it a dimension. That way, when I go and make my secondary sweep from plane 1 with a circle, I can give that the same dimension, and then I'll have 2 of the same thickness that are crossing each other, and it won't be as weird as if I just made up some things. So my 2 sweeps will then be that one along this line, and sketch 2, sweep along. Oh, and I can't see this sketch anymore, but I can go hit this and I'll see it again. Not sketch 3, well, sketch 1. Yeah, sketch 1. There we go. That's J. There's one of the letters for your name. So yeah, you got options. Some of it's about creativity. This video's gone way too long. I need to check and see if anyone's in my Zoom. Y'all be good. Have a good one. Bye.